Sounds real.
Sounds real.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Jack.
And we're back for
For a
another
snack.
episode
Sorry.
of Sounds Real.
Of Sounds Real, yes.
And this time we're showcasing Hallows.
Yes. We went to go see a show that's a little different from our normal shows that we go to. Yeah. We usually go to the heavier stuff. But we were in the mood for some dark wave and some goth.
That's right. And this was at
the living room.
The living room again.
Yes.
Another awesome experience. Really, really had a really good time that night.
Ooh, yeah.
And it was packed house.
Ooh, it was sold out. I think
packed house. Yeah.
I think it was at capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of people. I mean, it was a lot.
For each act too. That's what I like.
For the whole show, basically, it was like act for the whole show. So I'm glad I found a place at the bar.
We got there.
We got there early enough.
Unfortunately, the couch wasn't there, so
No.
I couldn't sit down on the couch this time because they had to move out everything.
Yeah.
For this show, yeah.
So
got it.
the living room is perfect for this type of music. I mean, for the intimacy of the experience is great. Anyway, let's talk about the
fog.
More of the fog.
Plenty of fog that night. Plenty of fog.
Yeah.
So you will not be disappointed. So that night started off with Stumble.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't heard Stumble, but it's said also like shoegaze, doomgaze.
Yeah.
And damn.
They're really very cool. They were very cool.
3-piece band.
Yes, very cool stuff.
The noise coming out that night.
Yeah, they're they lean a little bit more to I get kind of reminded me. I got strong vibes of oh my god, I'm going blank. Jesus Mary Chain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very strong Jesus and Mary Chain vibes. They're noisy. They have that sound. But there's like, to me, you can hear like a doom element to it as well. I totally dug them.
Yeah, they were kind of reminding me of Swerve Driver.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Swerve Driver back in the 90s?
Back in the 90s.
They were like shoegaze, but they were kind of doomy.
Yeah, they kind of have that sound, you know.
But these guys are heavy.
Yeah, these guys are heavy. And that's what I'm saying. They had that element to them. Totally dig them.
Yeah, they're awesome. So hopefully they'll come out with some physical media soon.
Mm-hmm.
I know they said something about tapes.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a tape deck. I know.
You know, but so they hit the stage first, the living room,
mm-hmm.
And man, they were just set the tone that night.
They set the tone.
There was a good crowd for them, really welcoming, and they did a really good 30-minute set.
Yeah, maybe a little longer, but
there's some long songs, so I like that too.
Yeah,
you just another band where you just get lost in the music.
I think this whole night was kind of like that.
Awesome night. So they set it off with a little bit of shoegaze, starting off doomgaze. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Check out Stumble, and then Altamar played next. They're from what we saw, it was a 2-piece.
Mm-hmm.
Guitars and bass, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I really couldn't see them.
Everything else had programmed.
They were in the fog.
That's right.
They were in the fog. So I really
Jack was in the back.
Yeah, I was in the back, so I couldn't really tell.
Bar, so.
And then there were so many people at that time too that was kind of obstructing my view. But I just chilled out and checked and heard them.
By this time now, more and more people were
there was a lot more.
And I gotta say, I like Altamar.
I totally dug them.
For me, it was like a throwback to the 80s gothic wave of
early gothic wave.
Yeah. Of music and.
Well, I could definitely hear the Cure influence, but I'm talking about the early Cure influence off of like maybe Pornography, albums like that, where they were darker in tone, and they're guitar driven, not so much synth driven.
Nice guitar play.
Yeah, very cool stuff. Some intricate stuff that's going on.
With the guitar.
Yeah, so there's moments where the guitar gets really jangly and that jangly tone, but it's still all in that element of that kind of, you're right, like kind of an 80s goth type of feel. A little Susie and the Banshees in there as well.
Really dug it. And it was just nice to see. This was another show where there's a lot of good mixture. A lot of different uh, genres. I mean, but they all kind of fall in the same umbrella.
Yeah.
But their distinctive style.
Yeah, and I
I
love to go to shows like that too,
It was awesome.
where you have all these different type of bands, but they're all kind of underneath that umbrella of dark wave or darkness, or because there's doom in there, there's elements of metal and stuff. And my phone is ringing. So.
Oh, Jack, come on, man, we're taping here.
I know. So yeah, but I totally dug them too, man. They were very cool.
And so they had like everything else programmed.
And
I think he played
some keyboards, some synth.
So I like that. It was really good. Bassist was really awesome too. He was just
he was going to town,
jamming out, and he had a really high.
Yeah,
I like that. Even had that '80s look where they played the bass really high.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun, and I have seen them on other bills, but I'm glad we got to see them on this one.
Yeah. And then once again,
Viuda.
They played.
Once again, too, was blown away.
Yes.
This band is up and coming, and man, they have a lot to offer. They're so talented, and I totally dig their style of music. And on our other show, I kind of mentioned some of their influence, like King Woman.
Oh, now you can mention the one you forgot.
Oathbreaker. That's the one. Yeah, Oathbreaker. And I think they even mentioned that they have that influence as well. So those are two bands I truly dig, is King Woman and Oathbreaker. And so to hear a band coming out of this scene, the El Paso scene, doing something similar in that style, in that same vein, it's exciting.
Yeah,
it's exciting, and I'm going to say that with all these El Paso, Stumble and Altamar, it's exciting to hear that they're tapping into that style of music.
Right.
I think El Paso has a very good and strong hardcore, deathcore scene, metalcore scene, but to kind of venture out into these different alternative scenes or alternative genres is kind of cool. Kind of say, wow, there's some bands that are actually kind of touching upon that. But these guys always, I dig them. I'm a big fan of their style of music.
Oh yeah, It was enjoyable. It was such a good vibe, and it continued the tone for that night. And then
Hallows. Woo. Yeah. Well, this was more dark wave synth. Has a lot of the '80s aesthetic to it. They played. I think they played a lot from both of these albums, and so their style was a little bit darker on this album. There's a bunch of songs that they played off that, and then this one had more of an upbeat tempo to it. But if you're into dark wave, you're into that 80s synth rock, you're into goth, that early goth that was a little bit more connected to the Depeche Mode type of style. You gotta check these guys out. Now I'm not too sure where they're from though.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know.
Okay, whatever.
So, but I really dug the Hallows, and they just I had to get Jack to go. I said, dude, check them out.
Whatever.
I will.
Whatever. I was the one that introduced you to these guys.
I did.
All right.
I did.
All right. Let's talk about it later after the show.
It's the cup. But anyway, really good dynamic duo.
Yeah.
Honestly.
The dynamic duo.
I mean, killed it that night. And it was just really, really good stuff. A really good show. And they just the stage presence as well.
Yeah.
They had so much energy, those two.
They had a lot. I mean, for
energy.
For the actual space.
For living room, yeah.
For the actual space, they actually dominated their little area. It was very cool. They actually went into the crowd.
So she sings, she plays bass and keyboards,
the keyboard
and everything else. And then he
does the programming,
and sings. So they do a lot. A lot is going on.
A lot is going on.
And wow, I'm so glad that we went out and I dragged Jack to go. And it was just such a good show.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun.
And they're really cool people.
Very nice.
Really nice.
We had a chance to speak to them as well.
So we got interviews with Stumble, and Hallows at night. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll put those on there. And unfortunately, you know, we uh, Bullet Ballet showed up, but they were gonna do like a DJ set.
I don't know. Yeah, I
Yeah, it was
think
a
so.
DJ
Was it a
set.
DJ set?
They weren't as Bullet Ballet. There was something else. I'm
Okay,
sorry, I
but it
didn't
was members.
catch it, but there were members from there, and they
Hmm.
put on a nice little DJ set after the Hollows.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we had to work the next day,
So
so
yeah, we had to take off.
gotta take off.
Yeah.
But it was a really nice event. I loved it. I hope the living room continues that. It was a really
Yeah.
good vibe, real intimate setting, plenty of fog. Keep that fog up.
Yeah. The fog is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
So keep fogging it up.
Fogging it up.
Fog it up, guys. So, in conclusion, like always, it was such an awesome show. All bands, I mean,
All
of
bands
them were
nailed it,
good.
man. A great show, actually.
Yes, a great combination that night, and you don't get bored. It was just so inviting.
No.
The crowd was cool. You know, really good positive vibe. Loved it, and like always, share, like, subscribe, and sounds real.
Sounds real.
Sounds real.
Sounds real.
I'm here at the living room with Hallows. You guys are going to perform. Have you been here in El Paso before?
This is our second time in El Paso.
Oh, second time.
Yeah, I was saying,
Huh?
I was saying put the mic closer.
Oh, here. This is our second time in El Paso. The first time was in 2022?
Yeah, I think
Just
22.
last year.
Yeah.
And we were touring with our friend Kiss of the Web, and we played at the Reagan.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice, nice. Want to step a little forward here, Jack, so people can go through. Tell us about the style. A little bit about your style, what Hallows is about.
Yeah, so it's a little all over the place. I would say if you want to like put it in a box, it would be dark wave. But we have a lot of influences. You know, we listen to a lot of metal, hardcore, punk, but also all kinds of like weirdo electronic, ambient. You know, so influences are very varied. But if you were to put us in the box, it would be probably like modern dark wave or modern electronics. I like to say dark electronics, but that just
Yeah.
kind of like gets rid of a lot of the I know exactly what this is going to sound like. We don't really want to sound like what you expect.
Right. And you guys just recently released an album, correct?
Yes, that was August 31st was when A Quieter Life came out. And
that's
yeah,
very recent.
very recent.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I was, what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're excited about it. The
That's
reception has been awesome. Yeah.
Oh, nice, nice. So you guys are on tour right now. So where's your next stop?
What is the next stop?
I'm the tour person. So we are in Austin tomorrow, but no show. Our next show is in Denton, Texas,
Oh,
on Monday, and after that we start going north. You know, Nashville,
Yeah.
Columbus, Chicago, and then loop right back all the way down to LA. So
Awesome,
yeah.
awesome. So what I always ask, the artist is, what's on your listening table?
So we actually went to a show at the Rubicon, which is an iconic record store in LA, and we have been completely in love with Street Fever.
Okay.
Yeah, and Street Fever is from Boise, and they are someone you need to catch. They are on tour right now, actually,
Yeah,
right?
Oh,
Yeah, and it's this electronic. Would you say EBM-ish?
I would say like dark techno.
Dark
yeah,
techno.
dark
Okay.
techno.
Yeah, and you have to catch them live because the light show is just amazing. So for me, like, that's on rotation right now. We've been listening to it on like in the car a lot.
Okay. Okay, awesome.
What are you listening
What
to?
about you?
Yeah, I think the like Street Fever's catalog has been kind of like a big deal. We really dig it. Like a lot of been getting influenced a lot by like the electronics and like just the aesthetics of what Street Fever does. But also like we've been trying to listen to the new Slow Dive in the car, but while you're driving on the interstate, you can't hear anything. So like we gotta be listening to it at home. So
Yeah.
next on the list, we want to check out the new Slow Dive that just came out. So.
Okay,
It's
nice.
just too much low end, and
Yeah.
on the interstate,
Yeah,
it
no.
just gets cut off. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be at home and
At
just
home,
Yeah,
let it.
yeah, absolutely.
Nice. So, well, that's awesome. I can't wait to see them. perform tonight. It's going to be an awesome show at the living room. I wish you guys were here, but I'm here. So, and thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
And sounds real.
Sounds real.
And we're out. Sounds real.
Sounds real.
I'm here at the living room with Stumble, and we just saw them perform live, and I gotta say it was an amazing set. But you know what? I'll let them talk about themselves. Let us know what Stumble's all about. Uh,
Oh, well, appreciate your kind words. Thank you. Well, my name's Mo. My name's Adrian. This is Mo. We're
make
two
sure
thirds
the
Stumble.
microphone's up.
Oh, sorry.
because of
My
music and all
apologies.
that.
Yeah,
No, it's
you're
cool.
right. You're right. My name's Adrian. This is Mo. We're 2/3 of Stumble. Tonight we played with a fill-in drummer, our friend Julian from Get Well in Intentions
Okay.
and Solus, and we had a good time. It was a good show. I feel like we did better than previous times. We've been around for a minute now and working on some stuff slowly but surely. Um, we're working with our friends in Intentions and in Get Well. We have a studio together,
Oh, nice.
and we're hoping to release sometime next month. Um, Get Well is going to release next month for sure.
Oh,
So that's a little bit about us. We've been friends since how
Probably middle school.
yeah, like something like 7th grade,
oh
something
wow.
like that. So it's fun because we're just hanging out and jamming, and that's how it came to be.
Yeah. So how would you, from your words, how would you describe your music?
Oh, there's this quote, I forget by who, but he says there are poets that sing you to sleep and poets that ready you for war, and I want to be both, right? I remember that really resonated with me,
Yeah.
and we used to be really into like punk and grind type of stuff, though after a while I feel like we softened up and we're like, no, well, it's fun playing fast, but let's see what else is out there,
Right.
and we all just really got into shoegaze, and we try to blend the two, and like have a contrast.
Yeah.
Um, on our bio, it says a violent dream because that's what I feel like the sound that we're going for.
Yeah.
Something more so in the sense of like you think of like a storm in the ocean and it's like scary, but
Yeah.
it's beautiful,
Yeah,
in its
yeah.
own way, and like we try to emulate that, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about because the last song on their set is just a nice blend. It just flows, and then you guys just all of a sudden kick it into high gear, and it's just like, oh, you do have that force behind it that you can bring it, and I like that. Really nice blend of kind of like shoegaze, post rock, and just all kinds. Little doomy at times. I love it, and it just takes you to another place. You get lost.
Thank you.
So that's awesome. So what I want to know is what's on your listening table.
What's on my listening tape?
Table.
Table.
Yeah, what are you currently listening to?
What am I listening to right now? Well, today I've been listening to a lot of Dinosaur Jr. actually.
Some classics.
Yeah. I'd say like our bigger influences would be like, Cloakroom for sure. Cloakroom for sure.
Oh, I like them.
They're great. We really like Yob.
Yeah, yup.
Yeah.
Yob?
Yob,
Oh.
yeah, lots of
That's
Yob.
a Jack favorite.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good taste. Let's see. What have you been listening to?
A lot of like progressive stuff. I like progressive metal, like Entheos, Meshuggah, obviously. Yeah, just a lot of stuff. A lot of progressive stuff.
Sure.
That's awesome. I always like to ask the bands because it's usually something totally different from what they play, and I like that. It's just, and then I get to be exposed to new stuff too because there's some bands I'm like, oh, I haven't heard of them. So, but I like Cloakroom actually.
Hell
Cloakroom's
yeah.
really
Hell yeah.
nice.
Good
Cool
taste.
band. So it was awesome having you guys on the show. I can't wait to see you guys perform other venues, and definitely would like to see you guys at the Rock House. So that would be a put together good show. And sounds real.
Sounds real.
And we're out.